Hello guys, here we are back with another Cossacks II multiplayer video. Today we are going to watch a game between Boomerang, he's playing for the nation France, and the player Lancer, he's playing for Britain. And before we dive into the actual gameplay, we have a little bit of time to take a quick look at the map in an overview. So, as you can see here on the left side of the map, there is the base of Boomerang. And on the right side of the map, we have the base of Lancer. And as you can also see, there are many roads on the map, so it's pretty likely that we are going to see a mobile war, so many troops moving. And in my opinion, this road here is the main line to attack or to defend. And one last thing, here on the top of the map, you can see the only neutral gold village, so that is a very important village, and it's good to capture it. So back to the game, it's no big surprise. You can see both players are building their barracks, and before the actual gameplay or actual war starts, let me first answer a question of a subscriber of mine. He asked me if I could comment a little bit on how to manage the economy. And of course I can answer that question, but it's pretty hard to answer because every nation is played in a different way. And so you can't apply the same strategy on every nation. It really depends. But some principles of mine is or are to upgrade the village, the food village, very quick at the beginning of the game, so more workers will produce food for you. And the reason for that is that the exchange rate for food on the market is better compared to wood or stone. So for example, you can get more gold for the same amount of food than you could get for the same amount of wood. So it's very reasonable, I think, to try to produce a lot of food right from the beginning. So in my opinion, you can, after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, send all your peasants that are trained here in the town center to the cornfield, rather than quarry stone or chop wood. But it really depends. There are some nations where it's good to produce a lot of wood because some cavalry units, for example, the Uhlans, need it. But overall, food, as I said in the last videos, is the most precious resource, and you have to produce a lot of it. And as far as building is concerned, or buildings are concerned, I think for every nation it's very important to build the palace very quickly. So in this game I play for Britain. It was very easy to build the palace very quickly, because that's one advantage of Britain, that the palace is very cheap. And the palace provides you with extra gold income, and that's very good. Because you can train better soldiers, then upgrade your villages, which costs gold every time you upgrade it. So that are my principles. I hope I could answer your question a little bit, and let's get back to the gameplay. You could see Boomerang was able to capture this gold village here on the top of the map. And to protect it, he is building a blockhouse here with the sappers. I think it's a pretty good strategy, because now it's pretty hard for Lancer to capture it at the beginning, because he has no possibility to destroy the blockhouse. And that's why he was retreating with his musketeers here. And now he's getting attacked by the French Fusiliers. So Lancer is holding a very crucial position here on the map. It's a crossroad. And now it's pretty dangerous situation because he's getting attacked by 2 French squads and from both sides. I think he won't be able to hold that position because now the Fusiliers shot their muskets and the musketeer squad of Britain got frightened. So here you could see the National Guard of Boomerang were moving without stamina. This is the red bar here, which indicates the fatigue. And that caused them to lose their morale. And now they are pretty vulnerable. And Lancer is trying to make profit out of that and to make them flee from the battlefields. And that was successful. A quick attack of his cavalry. But now there's more danger because Boomerang is attacking his left flank where many important buildings of him are. But luckily Lancer was able to build a blockhouse in time. So this raid is at least a little bit reduced because of the shooting blockhouse. But now it's very bad for him because his stables are getting attacked and he can't train more cavalry at the moment. So he has to react to that threat. But there's also another threat. This Fusilier squad of France was attacking his barracks, but his Highlanders could repel the enemy, and the Highlanders are a very good unit. And here he tries to repel the enemy also with his Highlanders. It's very crucial because after that he could finally train some cavalry again. And now the Highlanders were shooting and frightened the Fusilier squads of Boomerang. And now this attack was blocked. So here's another fight for the Iron Village, and Boomerang won and can build a blockhouse here to defend it. And Lancer's also trying to build a blockhouse with only 2 sappers left because Boomerang's cavalry killed nearly all of them. And the idea behind that of building the blockhouse here is to prevent any further advance on the main line of Boomerang. But it's pretty hard to build that blockhouse here because Boomerang is doing everything to prevent that. So a big fight now. The Highlanders of Britain are very good, I said it before, because they have a very high shot damage, 130. And now the British cavalry is joining the fight and can hopefully repel the attack of Boomerang. And it was a successful maneuver, so maybe it's possible now for Lancer to build that blockhouse. And I missed a small fight here for the food village of Boomerang. So Lancer sent in his troops here. We've captured the village. To reduce the food income for Boomerang, which is pretty vital, and you can harm the enemy in a big way with that. And now his Highlanders are retreating because the French Grenadiers are attacking them, which are a stronger unit, especially in melee combat. They have 20 and the Highlanders only have 5. But that moment was used by Lancer to attack the barracks of Boomerang, and many troops are fighting it out here. So it's very crucial for Boomerang now to repel the British attack, because otherwise he couldn't train more infantry, because his barracks would be completely occupied. But he managed to win the fight and throw the enemy back. But there's still one Highlander squad sitting in his food village and preventing him from getting more units, from getting him more food.
The enemy's close.
And that's why he tries to throw in more troops and win the food village back. But on the other hand,
The enemy is not far away.
there's also the threat for his barracks.
The enemy's close. The enemy draws near our village.
Okay, there was a fight I missed, because the Highlanders were able to throw the enemy squads back, but now they're getting attacked from French cavalry, and I think they will disintegrate. And now Boomerang was able to win the food village back. Okay, you can here see a squad of Boomerang in the forest, but it was more or less shot away from the Highlanders, and now there's again the threat for his barracks. So as I said before, that road here is the main line to attack, because it's the shortest way to the enemy barracks. And now 3 squads of Highlanders are forming up against the enemy infantry. And the cavalry of Britain is attacking. Oh, and that was a little bit misfortunate for Lancer, I think, because Highlanders only harmed the Fusiliers and not the French Grenadiers. So he had to came up with another plan and bypassed the enemy with his cavalry and directly attacked the troop production of Boomerang. And he has to react to that and has to send his grenadiers back in order to kill the British cavalry. And now he was able to make one squad of British grenadiers disintegrate. But the British cavalry is still holding that position of the barracks and preventing him from training more units. And now I think Lancer is able to capture this iron village, which is also very crucial for Boomerang. It was successful, and here you can see the economy of Lancer compared to the economy of Boomerang. And now as 3 squads of grenadiers are joining the fight again and can throw back the enemy. So now it's finally possible again for Boomerang to train units, you could think, but there was one British grenadier squad who destroyed the barracks. So I think Boomerang has to build barracks at another place, and he's doing it right here. But it looks pretty bad, because Lancer also was able to capture that iron village. So economic-wise, Boomerang is in a big disadvantage. And now it seems everything's prepared for a last fight. So many troops of Britain are gathering here, and on the other hand, the grenadiers of Boomerang are attacking and advancing a little bit at least. Let's see how that fight turns out. So 3 squads of Britain are now forming up to attack. And the enemy cavalry is also ready. And let's see. So now the enemy the cavalry of Britain is thrown into the battle and can make the grenadier squads disintegrate, and I think that's game over for Boomerang. He has quit the game now, and yes, that was a pretty short clip now because the playback speed was a little bit higher of the replay. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see us in the next video. And please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you liked the video.